I want to introduce to you Josh Goodwin. Josh is the youth pastor there at Morningstar, New York, but has quite a testimony. Josh, now you can help me a little bit on this. I think we may have some cutaways of this, but Josh, you worked in the modeling industry. You were with Hugo Boss.
Worked for them. Did a lot of Calvin Klein, a lot of Runway, YSL, all the American stuff, American Eagle, Abercrombie Express, about 24 countries.
Oh my goodness.
It was a lot, man.
Okay, well I'm hoping we had some cutaways of not sorry to say that and it didn't happen. Okay, it happened. But Josh, you know, these are the stories that I think people don't ever hear about, because you see the image, you see the projected image of that here's a person that is handsome, got it all together, and yet here's a story that you tell of the other side of the story, as the famous radio man said, Paul Harvey, the other side of the story. So why don't you talk back? You actually come from not only an unusual background professionally for the average youth pastor, but also where are your roots?
In Alaska, way out in the woods, a little north of Palmer.
Alaska, okay.
Palmer, everyone knows Palmer, right?
Sure. I'm sure there's TV in Alaska, and they're praying for you right now. So guys, so in Alaska, what kind of growing up, any kind of faith growing up?
Yeah, actually grew up in a Christian home and really loved the Lord, but never really understood His love for me. You know, it seems like that's the common tale. Either you grow up without Him, or you grow up not understanding that you don't have to strive all the time, and that was kind of my story.
So you go from Alaska, long story, not too short, but you get to New York City, and so you get involved in the modeling industry. Maybe people are watching saying, hey, I'd like to figure out how to do that. So just what happens to get you involved in that? What was the ignition point that got you involved?
I was actually just at a mall, and I was scouted there, and I never knew, you know, what that would catapult me into, but it was pretty crazy, because my whole life, you know, I just wanted to be a pastor, and because of just being human and sinful, I always thought, you know, well, God can't use me now. You know, I must have blown it too much. The lie I believe specifically was that I've been disqualified. And so once I'm in the modeling industry and I'm thinking, you know, here I am and at the top of my game, you know, and I'm not happy without God, and I could just feel Him chasing me down, you know, the whole time. I was traveling around, hit like 4 continents my first 6 months. His breath was on my neck, man. Like, He was just chasing me down so hard. When I got to the city, He broke that lie, specifically telling me, He said, you have not been disqualified. And the next thing He told me, He says, you are not a broken investment. And once I got that truth, and it was just such a change of identity for me. And I was able to change, I think, what probably most New Yorkers need to see, like, hey, even though I'm at the top of my game, that doesn't mean that I'm going to have any fulfillment in life outside of Christ. And that's what I needed. I needed to know just how much God loved me. And that's what changed everything.
Fantastic. Augustine, many would know the quote. Augustine said that you've made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless till we find it finds its rest in God and in you. So you found that rest, you found that grace. So then how do you translate? So now you're a youth pastor here with Ron and Lynette, and so you're walking around now. There's a lot of people that are not on a runway, but they're on a runaway from God, trying to get away from Him. So I'm sure you just see, can you sense people just like yourself that think, I know there's a God, but He probably doesn't want me? Are you sense any of that? What do you sense as you're talking to young people in the city? Yeah,
well, the most common thing with the high schoolers actually is it's not even a grace issue. They just don't really know anything about Him. It's like a total unawareness of what Jesus did. And so it's not even that they're running from, they just don't know. And once we're able to make that introduction, and it's the 1-2 punch, because it's the love of God along with the family of God. And that's what I needed the whole time in my life as well. Once I found a community here, I lived on the road 3.5 years. Once I found a community that I could base out of, to come here and just get surrounded by the love and then go out, I would have the strength to live the faith. And it's the same for these kids. Once they're able to hear the love of God and then have the community that allows them to grow, changes everything.
Fantastic. So New York is, as we know, Pastor Ron, you guys jump in on this, but really the window of openness, you were talking about this, that people talk about this age of openness, that once a person gets beyond the age of 25, then the chances of them coming to faith drop off. But now it's almost as if the enemy, when we talk about the devil, people think, or they're thinking about the guy in the red pajamas or whatever. No, but there is an enemy, evil force that is out there, a personality, and it seems like the targeting starts much earlier. And are you sensing the openness in the city even younger? It's not like you have to go to college to finally open up and want to know about God. I mean, it seems like it's getting even younger, where people are being hungrier and expressing that.
Yeah, you know what it is? There's a lack of anything sacred in the minds of the youth. So it's not even necessarily a distorted religion that they've come into, that they have any kind of methodology or religious philosophy. It's just that there is nothing. They've tried everything. Picture the CEO who has everything. Well, at the young age, they've already tried everything. There's the same kids that I'm finding who have access to, in their mind, everything that they could need with the girls, with the drugs, with whatever. They're still finding it doesn't satisfy, just like the highest of the high New Yorkers, and it's still the same, just love of Jesus that brings them out of that.
Pastor Ron, just talk, and you guys throw in here and ask questions, because y'all work with Josh on a daily basis. So
we love Josh. We're two of his greatest fans. We're proud of him. He's had a miraculous turnaround, life transformational, as we have seen many times. Many other models. I'll never forget the one model she was a front cover of a men's magazine for 5 straight times or something like that, and she never thought that she could do anything other than the sexy modeling. And Josh and others introduced her to Jesus Christ, radical transformation. She got whole, she got complete, she got pure, and she really became the beautiful person that God intended her to be from the inside out, not on the outside, just somebody making her up. But that's the transformation, the power of Jesus Christ. And then Josh's calling in particular has been to young people, and they're saying now Christian sociologists are saying that the 4-year-old to the 14-year-old, the 4-14 window, is now the ripest target age for the gospel.